Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today for a works in progress check-in. It's mid-February, and well, actually it's kind of the third week of February, right? So it's getting close to the end of the month. I have a few things to share. I have a lot of things I've been doing that I won't be able to share for another week or so, but I do have some things to catch you up on since I last shared a works in progress video. Also, before I get started with today's video, I did want to mention that Billy has let me know that a lot of people have been asking about the quilt on the door. I switched it up a little bit ago, and so it's been appearing in a lot of my videos. And that is actually my Delight quilt. It is a quilt pattern that I released with our Simply Delightful collection. And it's a 53.5 inch by 62.5 inch quilt, and it works with fat eighths. At least 30 fat eighths, or you could also make it with 15 fat quarters. And it really is a vintage block design that I absolutely love with the stars and the way they are framed. We also have a video about that quilt where you can see it more up close and get a good look at all of the blocks and the quilt as it's laid out on the table. So we'll put a link to that in the description if you want to go watch that video as well. Okay, I'm just going to go over a few things that I've been working on that I can show, and then a few things that I'm thinking of working on in the near future. So first, I just want to mention my Quilting Life block of the month. These are the January and the February blocks. And if you haven't joined in, you can still join in. I still get emails and questions all the time. The patterns are free on the first Monday of each month on my website. So we'll have a link there, and you can just head over there on the first Monday of each month and get the new pattern. The blocks are in 16-inch finished and 8-inch finished. I will have separate settings for each size of blocks available in December. It's a mystery, so I can't really fill you in on the setting or the blocks or anything like that, but it's a great way to get exposed to new blocks and to work on your quilting skills. So this is something I've been working on behind the scenes. Something else I've been working on behind the scenes are my Moda Blockheads 5 blocks. Now this was actually shared in 2 different rounds. They shared a group of blocks at the beginning of the year. I believe we started in September and ended in December. And we made all of these blocks. The patterns are still available. They're free. They use a variety of techniques. And there were a few setting options for these blocks if you wanted to stop at that point and put them in together into a quilt. Now these are in 2 sizes also, 12-inch finished and 6-inch finished. And so these were all of the blocks that I completed before the end of the year. I opted not to put my quilts into a project at that point, but to save them for the 2024 blocks, which is what we're working on now. And so I'll just go through these. Actually, we've made 8 blocks so far. So starting right after New Year's, we started block up. This one was actually my block. And we have just been doing a whole variety of different star-themed blocks. And I'm using my Strawberry Lemonade fabric. And I'm actually trying to do something just a little bit different. This was the one that was just released yesterday. I do something just a little bit different with my smaller versions. I do a different colorway, or I might change up where I put the background fabrics. So you can see these all on my blog. I post about them every single Wednesday, with the link to the pattern and with the blocks that I've made. And I am using Strawberry Lemonade for these blocks, but actually I am only making 1 more block in Strawberry Lemonade. That will be the block that I share with you next Wednesday, because starting in March, I'm going to be using our new fabric collection that I'll be sharing, and it's going to mix beautifully with these, and so you'll get to see how those 2 fabric collections work together. Okay, if you watch my works in progress videos, you've seen this over and over and over again, and I keep telling you I'm going to finish it, and I haven't yet, but I actually have made my remaining blocks. I can't show them to you. They're with the new fabric collection that we're sharing on March 1st. And so my goal is to get these put together. And it is going to be kind of a different scrappy quilt for me because a lot of my more recent blocks use a more white background. And some of the earlier ones I made use a more ivory background. So it's just going to be kind of a mix match, a true scrap quilt. And this is kind of my number one project that I'm going to be working on. Actually, I'm going to be laying this out and getting it sewn together and quilted, and hopefully we'll have this back from the quilter to share with you sometime in March, if not for sure in April. Just to mention also, this pattern, when I first bought it, it was a paid for pattern, but it is now free. And so I do have a link to this pattern where you can make these little house blocks and put them together in the layout on the quilt pattern. You can do that for free now. Okay, something else I'm working on. I went to a quilting retreat and taught some classes there, but I also had a chance in the evenings to sew with my friends. And my friend Val was making this Fly the Flag quilt from Amy Smart. And it was so quick and easy. She put all of the stripe pieces for the blocks together just so fast one night. And then the next night she started making star blocks and they were going together so quickly. I thought, I've got to make that quilt. And right about the same time, the Old Glory collection by Lella Boutique for Moda had shipped, and I had already pre-ordered a fat quarter bundle for myself. I didn't know what I was going to make with it, but I had the bundle on order. And so when I arrived back home from that quilt retreat, I had this at home. And so I decided that's what I'm going to make. I'm not going to use Amy's fabric. I'm going to use her pattern, but I'm going to use Vanessa's fabric. And so I'm super excited to start putting this together. And I'm going to start with the reds and the light fabrics and make my stripe. I'm going to do the same thing Val did. I'm going to make all the stripe sections first, and then I'll make my stars, and then super, super excited about putting this together. So this is one of my soon-to-be works in progress. Something else I want to show you, just because I don't know how many people know about these, but this is a pre-cut called a Jolly Bar, and they are only available from Fat Quarter Shop. I actually wanted to have one with our strawberry lemonade collection, just kind of as a collector's thing. I'm going to open it. So whenever you order a Jolly Bar from Fat Quarter Shop, it actually comes with a free pattern. And so this one has a fizzy fruit quilt pattern. It's 56 by 59. And usually what these patterns are just really simple little patterns that you just need to add some background fabric to your Jolly Bar and make a cute quilt. So I'm super excited to have this. I will probably just save this Jolly Bar in my collection, but I might be able to make the pattern just from scraps too, because I have still quite a good number of strawberry lemonade scraps. But while I was ordering that, I decided to order the Jolly Bar for Old Glory, and that's the fabric that I just showed you for my Fly the Flag quilt. And it has the cutest little wall hanging, like a flag kind of, with 2 hearts and 2 stars in the star section, and then red and white stripes, and then you use the Jolly Bar sections even for the outer border. So this is kind of an economical way to get used to a fabric collection, to see if you really want to purchase more of it. A Jolly Bar is 5 inches wide by 10 inches long, so it's half a layer cake. It's basically a layer cake cut in half, or 2 charm packs sewn together. So you can use these for any charm pack options, but they are more economical than buying a layer cake. So it's just really a good option, and then they always come with a cute free pattern, so I did want to share that with you. But anyway, I will have a lot more to share in the coming weeks, as I'll finally be able to share everything I've been kind of working on behind the scenes since Christmas. Okay, so that's it for my February works in progress, minus of course all the things I'm going to start sharing beginning on March 1st that I've been sewing throughout January and February. But a good mix here of the other things that I've been working on and some of my thoughts as I've been planning what to work on next. So if you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.